Greetings and welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Pastor Errol Williams for another Thursday night tip. It's the 14th of November. We are live from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. at several destinations. My focus tonight is on tips to improve your mindset. We will get started in the next 2 minutes. In 2 minutes time, we will get started. Just want to make sure that everything is running okay the way that it should and that everyone is happy, and we go from there. So again, I want to say welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We are streaming at YouTube Live. We are streaming at Facebook as well. So join me at any of those destinations, Periscope or Twitter as well. So we will get started in just around 2 minutes time. Hope you had a fantastic day today. It's truly been a great day for me. Just being involved in so much things going on. It's just truly been, being magnificent. And thank you so much for joining me tonight as we are about to get started. So welcome to everyone, and thank you so much for being here tonight. As I said before, our focus is on the subject that we have at hand, tips to improve your mindset. And so if you are joining me, please know that you can actually comment in the chat room, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and even Twitter as well. So I want to say welcome and thank you for joining us. You can also text on the show tonight, live here tonight. So you can go ahead and do so at 07956872141. I want to say welcome to Pat and to everyone who's joining us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have changed our location a little bit in Facebook. So we've gone to a page rather than to the profile page, which is where we were streaming from. So hopefully people will still be able to find me there. So yeah, it's going to be a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you don't mind, if you're watching this show, you can go ahead and also share the link for us. You can share it with others. And I'm just going to make sure that I share it on a certain page just to make sure that everyone is able to watch it. So it's posted on the timeline. So hopefully everyone can actually see that. Welcome. We get started in just another 60 seconds time. And we will get started. Just want to make absolutely certain that everything is running okay, especially at Facebook. We know that everything is okay at YouTube. So we just want to make sure that everyone's okay. Perfect. I think that's it. And I just want to do one more share. And so if you're able to share this with your network, that would be great. We'd really appreciate if you were able to do that for us. That would be great. That would be fantastic. Okay, here we go then. As I said before, tonight our focus is on the subject of tips to improve your mindset. I will be taking some time to go through some PowerPoint slides that I have prepared today. I have prepared all day for this event, and just looking forward to share my thoughts with you. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Pat and Lucas, thank you so much for joining us. And those of you who are joining from Facebook, thank you so much. And please, you can go ahead and make comments, and I will be able to put those comments up onto the screen. So please go ahead and share the link with your network and make any comments that you'd like. Again, we appreciate your comments. All right then, let's therefore then look at a few slides that I prepared today that I'd like to share with you, and I think that this would be truly of great benefit. So let's go through these slides then and see where we go from that. Perfect. Everything seems to be working wonderful. Tips to improve your mindset. Before I get started, I just want to just introduce myself so that everyone is familiar with who I am, and just wanted to just share, thoughts about who I am. I have over 38 years experience in leadership, management training. Spent a lot of time doing counseling and running courses in the UK for UK prisoners. I'm a senior pastor, over 10 years experience in systematic theology, teaching on those subjects. I'm a national trustee for the Church of God of Prophecy UK Trust, as well as I've trained thousands of managers, leaders, and unemployed people all around the country in various different parts of the world. So it's been a really amazing journey. I'm also a co-founder of one of Europe's largest multi-million-pound organization, and that was started by a gentleman called Leonard Johnson. You see him in the picture there beside Prince Charles. And he launched the project for us in 1988, and you'll see a picture there of an amazing man that worked with us as well during that time, the Atumfu Azitutu II, and I'm so excited that we were able to meet him. I'm also the author of 5 books currently, Pursuing Excellence, Sowing for a Blessing, Tips for Dealing with Difficult Conversations, The Temptation Trap, and my final book, or should I say the current one, is Building a Dream, based upon the experience of Bridge Park and lessons that we learned from that project. I'm looking for partnership. In fact, I'm looking to raise £1 million, and you can see the reason why I'm looking to do that is to do visits and training and support for prisoners, also training and development for unemployed people. We have designed some training programs that we believe would be of great benefit to people all around the country. Training also for young people aged between 13 and 21. We have heard a lot about gun crime and all of that kind of stuff going on the streets. So we got a program that we believe could be of great benefit to that clientele. Also, we need webinar software and equipment. So if you'd like to support us, the links are there if you like. You can donate at any of those links, as well as our website as well, chop.com. Also, you may want to contact me on a mobile number that's there, and visit the website, and there are information on the website about me as well as about the organization. So do not hesitate to contact us at any of those locations. All right, I want to start with this slide because I think it's really important. It started with a statement, if you like, by the wisest man that ever lived. His name was King Solomon. And he made the statement, he said, what you think is what you really are. What he thinks is what he really is. And the King James puts it this way: as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And one of the interesting things is that we are our thoughts. We are our thoughts. And so it's important, therefore, for us to consider how we think and so on. So I want to say this to you, that where you are in life today is probably based upon the way you've been thinking over the last many years. And so it's important, therefore, that you consider some of the things that I will share with you tonight in regards to this amazing subject. It was Albert Einstein who made this statement: insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Are you with me? I'm expecting change, but I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again, but I'm expecting change. And so it's important to recognize that insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is thinking the same thoughts and expecting to have a different outcome. You will get what you've always got. According to Anthony Robbins, who made the point, if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always gotten. So if you continue in the same mindset, then you will continue to get the same results that you've been getting over the last few years. So if you want to have a change, then you're going to have to change the mindset, just with a few tips that I intend to share with you tonight. And you can consider whether or not these tips are of any benefits or any use to you. Welcome, June. And have you got a GoFundMe page? Well, June, I'm going to ask you to help me to set one up. And that would be great. And that would be great. If you could help me to do that, that would be great. And GoFundMe page, that would be great. And yeah. So, perfect. So, it's important then to change the way that you think. I want to share with you the path, what I call the path to success. And here is a path that I think it's worth you taking a picture of. So let me move my picture from the screen. And I strongly recommend, maybe you want to take your phone if you like, and take a picture of this, because I think this would be truly, truly helpful and beneficial, I think, to say the least. So the first thing is that you got to consider the environment in which you live, work, and play. You got to consider the environment in which you live, work, and play. That's key, because the environment in which you're in plays a very important part of what you pick up through your senses. The second stage here is that you're going to pick up things through your senses, all right? Those things that you pick up through your senses go into your mind, and it is there that we begin to meditate or think about or ponder over or consider what we have picked up through our senses from the environment in which we are in. Always remember that the way you feel is a result of the way you're thinking. Your thoughts determine how you feel. Your feelings determines your action. Your action determines your result, and your result will determine your destiny. This is the path of success. Now, this is probably one of the greatest tips I will share with you tonight. If you can really fully grasp or understand the concept of what I'm sharing, believe you me, this would really take you to the next level. You need to consider the environment in which you're in, and if you can change the environment, change it. Now, your environment, some of it is determined and dependent on you. Not all of it, but some of it. For example, the environment in your bedroom. You can create that environment. In other words, what you watch on TV, what you do on the radio, what you do on the internet, and so on and so forth. Your environment, the environment in your car, when you travel, for example, all right? Your environment at work, etc. Your environment, the church you go to, all of that forms part of your environment. The part of it that you can control, make sure you control it pretty well. The part that you can't control, then you're going to have to treat that the best way you can. Always remember, you're picking up things in your environment through your senses. What you see, you smell, you touch, you taste, and so on. So you're picking those things up from within your environment. Now you can see how important your environment is, all right? What you pick up through your senses go through your mind, and that's where you begin to meditate and think and ponder. And remember, I want to say this again, I want to repeat this again, it's so important to do so, is that the way you feel is as a result of the way you are thinking. Your thoughts determines how you are feeling. Your feelings will determine what you do, the actions you take, the words you speak, the things you do, places you go, and so on. Your actions will determine the results you get, and the results will determine your destiny. This, my friends, is a powerful and very key and important aspect of the path of success. So if for example, if you're not getting to where you want to get, it's because something on this path is not working for you. Are you with me? Either your environment is wrong, what you're picking up through your senses is wrong, the way you're thinking is wrong, your feelings, are you with me? So you got to look at this, and this is key and very, very important. Let me move on. Improve your mindset. What most people, the way people think is that it's either win or fail. Okay, I want to show you the difference between failures, the way they think, and the way champions think. You see, you got to understand. Oftentimes, people think it's just a straight line. I've just got to win, or it's either win or lose. And most people, when they lose, when they fail, generally speaking, they quit. They give up. They throw in the towel, if you like. Are you with me? But I want to show you something really remarkable, and I hope this may change your life forever, is that you may have to fail several times before you win. A businessman once told me many years ago, he says, in order to be successful in business, you're going to have to fail around 13 to 15 times before you really succeed at the one that you really succeed at. So a lot of the way champions operate is failure does not mean quitting to them. Because as you know, the statement goes, winners never quit and quitters never win. So it's very important, therefore, that you bear in mind that you must never, ever quit. You see, failure doesn't mean failure. Failure is a part of winning. Failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of is clues to your destination. So never ever quit. Never ever give up. Never ever throw in the towel, because failure is a part of winning. You're going to have to fail several times in order to win at whatever game you're at. Take, for example, sports, boxers or football or whatever. They don't quit because they lost the game. They don't throw in the towel because they lost the fight. No, they see that as an opportunity to progress, more training, look at the strategy, and so forth and go on. But failures, they quit because they think that it's a straight line to winning. No, it's not a straight line. You're going to have to fail several times before you win. It's just the way it works. And you got to change your mindset towards that. It's not one straight path. It's a zigzag line of lots of failures towards success. And that's been the case of most champions that you know of. Study their story and you will see that in their story there were many, many failures, if you like, before they actually won. It's very difficult to find somebody who wins all the time. If you look at Tiger Woods or some of these great athletes or sportsmen and women, and you listen to their story, you will see how many failures they had. I should have shown you a picture. I saw it today, in fact. It was one of Michael Johnson, Jack Johnson, I think his name is. And he said he has failed so many times. But it was his failures that led him to such great success. So I want you to bear that thought in mind and realize that it's really not over until it's really, really over. So bear that in mind. Now, I want to share another thought with you, and it's this. Use this mindset to vastly, and I use the term vastly, to vastly improve your desire to resolve any conflict without delay. Never ever say the following. Never do it. Never think it. Never say the following. I have a difficult conversation to deal with. Don't use those terms. Never say it. No matter how difficult it seems, never ever say, I have a difficult conversation to deal with. Now, I wrote a book, and it's called Techniques, Ideas, Principles, and Strategies to Turn Difficult Conversation into Opportunity conversations. And I want to say that this book is truly an amazing book. Why? Because it's over 10 years of running this course for top managers around the country and different parts of Europe that I arrived at some of the points I'm about to share with you. So this is not something I made up from my head. This is proven, tested information that really does work. Never ever say I have a problem again. Never ever say I have a challenge. You know, I remember many years ago, I met a gentleman who said to me something really amazing. I said to him, you know, I have a problem. And he says to me, never ever say I have a problem. Change your mindset, he said, Errol. Never ever say I have a problem. Say I have a challenge. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. So I changed my mindset from problems to challenges. Later on, somebody else came along and said, no, Errol, don't say I have a problem. Don't say I have a challenge. I'm going to give you another word to use. I'm going to come to that in a moment. So cancel these words from your vocabulary if you can. Cancel them out of your dictionary if you can. And never, ever again use those terminologies to say, I have a difficult conversation. I have a problem. I have a challenge. And I'm going to show you why right now. Improve your mindset by treating difficult conversations as opportunities. So this gentleman was saying to me, don't call it a challenge anymore. Call it an opportunity. And I thought, wow. And so I began to use that. I used it in my training courses. I began to use it in my life. And I remember one day I was running a training course and I was very, very reserved in sharing this point. I still shared it, but I was very reserved in how I shared it. And I said to the people, you know, I'm going to give you an option, I said, don't use the word problems or challenges, but as an opportunity, use the word opportunity, consider it. So I didn't put it as forceful as I normally do. Well, during the break, a young lady came to me and she said, Errol, I was watching the TV recently, she said, and the father of Stephen Lawrence, the young black boy that was murdered many years ago, came on TV after many years after Stephen Lawrence's death and says, you know what, my son's death has been a great opportunity for X, Y, and Z. And I thought, wow. Now, when his son had died, he would probably never ever say this was an opportunity. He probably would say, I have a problem, and go from there. But as he progressed in life, he began to see how the death of his son was an opportunity for so many changes that took place in the law and so on. What I'm saying to you is, consider the possibility of removing these words from your mindset, from your vocabulary, from your daily life. Stop saying I have a problem. Stop saying I have a challenge. And why not begin to focus on the word opportunities? Now, why would I say that? I say that because when you think about the word problem, I have a problem, it conjures up this negative impression or feeling. It's something negative, problematic, negative. When you think of challenge, I think of hard work. But when I think of opportunity, now I start thinking about benefits. How can this situation that I'm going through bring benefit to my life, to my family, to my church, to my friends, etc.? Now, this might be a very hard concept for all of us, and I understand that clearly. But all I'm saying is to consider the possibility of using it, or using it with things that would be of great benefit to you. Now, I'm a bit reserved in putting it forward, and that's perfectly fine. All I'm saying to you is be careful of your mindset, because when you say things like, I can't do it, it's impossible for me, you're actually saying, I'm not even going to try. Okay? That's a mindset. Our minds have been set a certain way and been programmed a certain way over the years. And what I'm saying here is that be very, very careful of that and make absolutely certain that you consider the possibility of using these words. I hope that makes sense. Indeed, I hope it makes sense. Look at opportunities as great, great, great benefits, because the reality is that the situation still remains the same. Whether you call it a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity, it hasn't changed. The situation still remains the change. All that I am suggesting here is you change your mindset in the way you look at the situation. That's all I'm saying. Just change the way you look at it. The situation still remains the same. Nothing has changed with the situation. But maybe if you change your mindset, you will change your outcome. Remember what Solomon said. Remember what he said. And I want to show you again. He said, what he thinks is what he really is. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So be careful what you're thinking about, because your thoughts, remember what I said, going back to the path. Remember what I said, okay? The path that you go down will determine your destiny. Determine your destiny. So be very, very careful of what you're thinking about. That is absolutely key. This is a tip that is so important. I really want you to hold on to that, because this tip has really dramatically improved my life in ways that I never ever thought was possible. And I am so thankful that this tip was shared with me so many years ago. And I want to say that I have some, what people would refer to as some massive, massive problems. But I see them as opportunities. I see them as things from which I can learn. I see them as things from which I can develop and grow and benefit from them, and so on. And so I really think that it's really important to consider these things. Now, let me share a few more thoughts with you before we close. I want you to consider these thoughts. And these are the mindsets of champions that I have reviewed over the years. And I remember a gentleman once came to me and he says to me, Errol, and we began to talk about stuff. And I said to him, I hate selling. And this is what I said to him. I said to him, I hate selling. And he said to me that if you hate selling, you will always work for the person who loves selling. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, I would love to work for myself, and I don't really want the idea of having to work, let's say, for other people. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to make absolutely certain that I work for myself. So I asked him, I said to him, so what would I have to do to love selling, if you like? He says to me, just change your vocabulary. Change what you say and how you think. So he said this to me. He said, every day say to yourself, I love selling and I'm the best. That was the medicine that he gave me. He said, I'm going to give you this medicine and I want you to take it every day. And the medicine was, I love selling and I'm the best. I love selling and I'm the best. And you know, when I first started saying it, it felt a bit strange because I really didn't love selling. And the more I began to say it, and the week and the months went by, the more I realized I was gravitating towards becoming more of a salesperson. And not only did I say I love selling and I'm the best, I began to use that for other things in my life. And so here are some of the 10 things I would suggest that you make your own list and you begin to repeat them to yourself. You don't have to repeat them to anybody else. I use these as examples to share with you. things like, I love working with all kinds of people. There may be people you don't like working with for whatever reason, but if you were to just change your vocabulary, just change your mindset, and realize, hey, you know what? I love people. I love working with all kinds of people, whether they be Asians or Chinese or whatever. I love to embrace change. You see, by saying these things to yourself, remember, again, I want to go back to the thoughts of King Solomon. What he thinks is what he really is. As you think, so you become. This is the point I really want you to grasp. As you think, so you become. The thoughts that you have that goes through your mind will eventually be played out in your life. So you got to be careful of the way you think. You got to control the thoughts that you have and make absolutely certain that you're in charge of what you think and not your mind telling you what it wants to do. So again, I want you to view difficult conversation as opportunities. View it that way. Think of it that way. This is an opportunity. And it may not sound good to you at first because, you've been viewing it as a problem. When people come to me, they would say to me, Errol, I have a problem. I need your help with this problem. Man, this problem is killing me. Now, those words that you've just spoken will be played out. This is a problem, and so it is a problem. It's killing me, and it will kill you. Are you following me? So you got to change the way you talk, change your outlook, change your approach to it. By changing your approach to it, you might get a different outcome, or you might find ideas and ways in which you can look at this. Are you following me? I have integrity. You can begin to use terms like that. I have integrity. The more you say it over and over, day after day, week after week. I have inner resources, strength, and power, especially when you feel down or you feel like, you've been taken advantage of, or you don't feel assertive. What do you say to yourself? Remember again, what he thinks is what he really is. Be careful how you're thinking. There is a statement by Solomon that I think is so powerful, and it says this way: laughter is medicine, but a broken spirit, dry at the bone, or a broken spirit produces disease. So when you are in a bad frame of mind and you're producing bad feelings, you're actually putting yourself in a position to acquire disease in your body. But with much laughter comes much cure. Have you ever seen a person who's very, 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 very depressed and laughing at the same time? I don't think I've ever come across that. I mean, that would be pretty strange to find somebody in that position. I don't know if anybody's ever been in that position where you can be happy and laughing and depressed at the same time. So I strongly recommend, therefore, that you consider the things you think about. I have inner resources, strength, and power. I'm an effective communicator. Say it to yourself over and over. This is what we call self-actualization. Self-actualization. If you repeat it long enough, you might believe it. And believing it will cause you to take necessary steps towards improving, and you'll be amazed how things will turn out for you. Your outlook in life will be completely different, even though you have a lot of challenges, or opportunities, should I say, that people call challenges or problems. But for you, there are opportunities that are there to make you stronger, to make you better. Always remember this. Every situation in your life is there to either make you better or bitter. Every situation in your life that we may call problems or challenges or opportunities are there to either make you better or bitter. I am courageous and confident. Even if you feel that you're not confident, you're in fear, you're in dread. Let's say, for example, you hate water. When I say hate water, you hate going into the swimming pool. You're afraid of heights. Just change it around. I love heights. I love heights. I love heights. I love heights. Every day. It might seem to you to be rather very silly, but you know what? You're saying it every day anyway. Every time you look at heights, I hate heights. I hate heights. You might not say it literally every day, but you're saying it enough times for you to really continue hating it, because that's the way that you are feeding the path of success. Remember, I said again, the path of success is what you're doing in this mind. And it's what you're thinking is what you're feeling. So by saying I hate heights, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to hate heights. Because that's what your mind is telling your body. And then your feelings pick that up. And then your action is going to be to run away from heights. You got to change your mindset. I love heights. I love heights. I love heights. Now, the point I want to make here again, as I said, it may seem rather very silly, but it's not, because you're doing it anyway. People who hate heights is saying they hate heights anyway. So all I'm saying is, stop saying you hate heights and say I love heights and see what happens over the next few months. I am motivated and enthusiastic. My goodness. It's amazing. This is one of my favorite one, actually. I am motivated and enthusiastic. I am. Not I am going to be. I am. And that's why I guess I am so excited and motivated every day of my life. Doesn't matter what day it is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm just so excited. And I think sometimes I'm too excited. But that's just the way it is for me. I am just so excited. It's hard for anything to get me down because I see everything as an opportunity. Here comes this, here comes that, but I see it as an opportunity. I don't see them as problems. I don't even see them as challenges. I see them as opportunities. And remember what I said earlier. There is benefit to gain when you see as an opportunity. Let me use an example of a young man in the Bible named Joseph. He was 17 years of age when he was sold into slavery by his hateful brothers. And he went into slavery. He was arrested for a crime that he never committed, attempted rape or so on Potiphar's wife. And on top of that, he was thrown into a dungeon. Now, it's interesting, after 7 years of going through real, what we call failure, listen to this carefully, 7 years of going through what we call failure, he won and became the second most powerful man in the world, the Prime Minister of Egypt. In other words, all those so-called failures that he was going through was just stepping stone for him to win. Now you got to get me on this. Those failures were just stepping stones for him to win. Because winners don't see failure. They see stepping stones. I was listening to a millionaire once, spoke about a situation that happened in his company. A member of staff had lost him $500,000. Someone met him and says, aren't you going to sack that person who lost you $500,000? He said, are you kidding? After it cost him $500,000 to learn that lesson, and now I'm going to sack him? That millionaire saw that as a stepping stone to success. How do you see those things that you're calling failure in your life? How do you see them? Do you see them as stepping stone, or do you see them as problems? Well, if you see them as problems, then they are problems. That's the reality. They are problems. And remember what I said, that problems do, they produce negativity. Challenges is hard work, but if you begin to change your mindset and says, well, I have an opportunity here, Here is a situation in the workplace or in my home or at church or whatever. Here's a situation that I am confronted with. Wow. So here you are. You are leaving home to go to work, and you have this problem or challenge or opportunity, right? Okay. Now, you're leaving home and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got this problem to deal with today. And maybe you start getting nervous, right? And maybe a little sweaty. And you don't even want to get into work. And now you've arrived, you're even more fearful. You don't want to deal with it. You're trying to avoid it. How can I avoid it? Blah, blah, blah. Because it's all negative. Okay, let's reverse the clock. You're leaving home and you think, oh, I got this opportunity today to deal with. I wonder what benefits I can derive from it. Oh, I'm going to have to meet my boss or meet that person. I'm going to be able to demonstrate how skillful I am and how knowledgeable I am and what a positive attitude I have for dealing with situations like this. Do you know, if we have, let's say, a hostage situation in the UK, a massive one, let's say, like we had several years ago, who do you think that the authorities is going to call to deal with this negotiation tactics and situation? Do you think they're going to call somebody who sees it as a problem or somebody who sees it as an opportunity? I mean, I'm just asking. And you think they're going to call that guy he's a problem, it's a problem. No, they're going to call the guy or the lady who knows how to deal with this situation because they are trained to deal with these so-called tough situations. So I strongly recommend change your mindset. Only you can do it. I like this one. I'm assertive, caring, and empathic. I'm assertive. Now, you may not be assertive. You might well be very passive. And I've met some passive people in my lifetime, some really passive people. And truly, truly passive. I really mean very, very passive. But yet, they remain in that state for whatever reason, because they see it as a problematic situation. But if only you change your mindset before you leave out, you'll be amazed at how things can turn out for you if you actually view it differently. And I strongly recommend that you look at it. And this is one of the things I love as well to say, I get better every day. Every day. It's not just yesterday, but I get better every day. I get better every day. And after saying these things for so many years, it truly does work, because again, I want to point out the proverbial statement that as we think, so we become. As we think, so we become. Now, that is the absolute truth. As we think, so we become. Now, statistics say that we think approximately 12,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Let me say this again so that you can really, really understand me. We think about 12,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Now, that's a lot of thoughts. Believe me when I tell you that. 12,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Research also goes on to say that the majority of those thoughts are negative. The majority of those thoughts are negative. Now, they say it's around 70%. If that is true, and I really kind of believe it personally, that means that if this statement by Solomon is true, which I believe it's true, that we are our thought, that means that most people are 70% negative all the time. 70%. Because 70% of what they think is negative. Can we have 100% of positive thoughts? Question I would have to ask is, why not? Who dare say no, you can't? Why not? Who's in charge of your thinking? All I'm saying is, take charge of what you think. Remember what I said earlier about Einstein. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, but I'm expecting a different result. Anthony Robbins says, if you do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. Because as we think, so we are. So, tip number 1. Let me take my picture out of the way so you can actually, take a picture of that. This is probably one of the best slides I prepared for you tonight. You can improve your mindset. Listen to this carefully. You can improve your mindset by improving your environment, improving what goes through your senses, improving what you think about, because your thoughts leads to your feelings leads to what you do, your actions. Your actions determines your result, and your result determines your destiny. This is such a powerful slide. It's really, really one of my favorite slides. I have been sharing this in companies for a number of years, probably better part of 25 years. I've been training managers to say, hey, look, here is the path to success. It starts with your environment. Create the environment that you want. The environment that I have created in my home, in my car, at work, and wherever I am, is a learning environment. I have created an environment of learning. So right now, as I'm looking into this camera, I have 3 computers here. I have an iPad as well as an iPhone. So it's 5 devices. Every one of them is designed by me to train me and to teach me. That's the environment. So whether I'm in the car, whether I'm at work, wherever I am, I create my environment. It is that environment that influences my senses to send information to my mind. Therefore, I think about those things. I am fully aware that the way I'm feeling, if I'm feeling pretty bad, I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling really down and depressed and downhearted, I know straight away I don't need to go to the doctors. I don't need to go to the psychotherapist. I know what the problem is. The problem is the way I'm thinking. Because my thoughts is connected to my feelings. And my feelings will determine how I act, things I say and things I do. And it's my actions that will determine the results I get, and the result will determine my destiny. Make an absolute note of what I've just said, and don't you ever, ever forget it another day in your life. The next thought I want to share with you, secondly, as we're closing out, is this. Winners are clear that so-called failures are just stepping stones. It's just stepping stones. Let me say this. Thomas Edison, is it Emerson or Edison? Thomas Edison, the founder of the, who discovered the light bulb, had some friends that was constantly bombarding him to give up because he was developing a bad name in the community. Because over and over, the research that he was doing kept on failing, according to them. It wasn't working. Every experiment he tried, it failed. It failed, it failed, it failed. I think it was over 500 experiments he had. And they tried to stop him. But Thomas said no, and he carried on. Eventually, Thomas got the light to work. And these friends of Thomas Edison came to him and says, Tom, congratulations, but you must accept that you failed over 500 times. Thomas said, no, I never failed 500 times. I just found 500 ways it didn't work. In other words, every way that he found that didn't work, he didn't have to worry about that anymore because he found a way it didn't work, so he just have to try another way. And eventually, he won. But he was winning all the time because he was viewing all those so-called failures as stepping stone. Whatever you're going through tonight may seem very difficult, very, very painful. They're just stepping stones to where you're going. You're a winner. You got to think that way. Yes, it didn't work. Oh, that one didn't work. Oh, I found a way it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work that way. Oh, fine. Okay, it didn't work. You know, you might have tried 7 business ideas and they didn't work. They're the stepping stones. Don't give up. Winners never quit. And quitters never win. So you keep on going. You keep on going. You never quit. You never give up. You never throw in the towel. You keep on going. You keep on trying. You keep on keeping on. Okay? See them as stepping stone. My third tip for you tonight is cancel these words. Cancel them completely. Cancel them. Cancel them. Don't use them. Cancel them. Take them out of your vocabulary. Things like, I have a difficult conversation. No. Change your talks. Change your mindset. Change the way you see it. This is not a problem. You know, the advert, I know a man who can, or I know a woman who can. Are you following me? Okay. So change your mindset completely. Cancel it from tonight and begin to treat difficult conversations. Begin to treat problems. Begin to treat challenges as opportunities. I have an opportunity. The thing about it is, Errol Williams, I have lots of opportunities. Now, the more opportunities I have, guess what? The more benefits I have. Now, that's a very powerful thought right there. Problems conjure up this negative feeling. Challenges, it's hard work. But when I see it as an opportunity, man, I can't wait to get to work to deal with that situation now. I can't wait to get home to deal with that because I want to see how skillful I am in dealing with this one or what's the benefits going to be as a result of this. Remember, these things come in your life to either make you better or bitter. Which one are you tonight? Are you growing better or are you becoming bitter and bitter as you grow older? And my fourth thoughts is this slide. The mindset of champions is completely different to the mindset of failures. And the point here is this. You develop these words or thoughts or phrase, not I would like to be. Don't use that term, I would like to. That's not positive. Or I'm hoping to. No. Notice the phrase I'm using. I love. I view difficult. I have. I am. I get better. You see it? All positive. It's all about positive affirmation. You know, believe you me, I really want to emphasize again the power of this thought by King Solomon. What he thinks is what he really is. You're in charge of what you think. Don't let your situation determine the way you think. Don't let your situation over your spouse or situation over your singleness or situation over death or situation over whatever determine how you think. It's your mind. Listen to this carefully. You have a right to think however you want to think. If you want to think as a loser, you have the right to do that. You have free will, free choice to do that. But if you don't want to be in that position, change the mindset. Because If you don't change it, let me take my glasses off to say this. If you don't change it, nobody can help you. Because only you can change it. Nobody can change it for you. Nobody whatsoever. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Wow. Thank you all so very much. Wow. Thank you so much. And we're going to certainly finish off around 5 minutes time, but just want to remind you again, if you want to text in, you can go ahead and do so. If you want to leave a message, I will most certainly pick that up in the chat room and go from there. But thank you also very much for tuning in tonight. It's truly been a pleasure and a privilege to have the opportunity to share with you guys tonight. Just want to remind you guys of a page that I put up, and that if you're able to, then you can help us. I'm looking to raise £1 million. That's my target. And, that can come from one person, 1 millionaire somewhere that is able to help us out on the projects that I have in hand, looking to raise $1 million to help visit and training and support the prisoners, also training and development for unemployed people, things that we have done before. You can actually go to the website, especially errol.williams.org. My CV is there. You can get to find out who I am and what I do and so on and so forth and so on. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of things that I do and I've done over the years. And I did give a brief description of some of the things that I've done and been involved in. I've trained thousands of unemployed people over the years. It takes a lot of money to do that, but nonetheless, it's something that I want to continue doing and will continue doing because it is of such great benefit. And especially as well with regards to, young men and women between the ages of 13 and 21, a lot of the killing and crime which goes on there have ways and methods and training that we can provide for them to help them. And also we need support for our webinar and equipment. You'll be amazed at how much it costs for me actually to put on these weekly webinars, but there you have it. Something I love to do, so that's the reason why I do it. Again, you got my mobile number, you got my church website address. You've also got I put the church website address twice. I don't know why, but no, sorry, it's there once. My email address is there, my church website. If you want to take a picture of that, then I'll remove my camera and then you can take a picture of that page if you want. And if you are able, if you know somebody, I'm looking for a millionaire, in fact, that's a reality, who can actually fund us in that. So June, you can go ahead and help set up a fund me page on that. Jenny, Becky, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you guys being here so much. It's been a pleasure having you guys here with us. And again, thanks to Pat and Lucas, as always. Appreciate you guys greatly for the support you guys give all the time. It's just been such an awesome privilege knowing you guys and wishing you guys all the best. And thank you also for all your support that you've given as well. But whatever you can do, that would be great. And thank you so much again for everything. This has truly been a magnificent night for me. I hope that these tips, in fact, that you find these tips useful, and that you'll be able to use these tips in your life and so on. Again, I want to reiterate the key points that I'm making. What you think is what you become. What you think is what you become. If you don't change it, according to Einstein, it's just insane. Okay, if you do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, you're insane. And if you do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always gotten. So it's important, therefore, to bear in mind that as you think, so you become. Remember again what I said, the path to success is very, very clear. It couldn't be any clearer. Don't treat failure as failure. Treat them as a stepping stone, because that's how you get to win. You don't win straight away. You know, the road to winning ain't straight. It's not one straight road. It's a ziggy-zaggy road. Okay? So bear that in mind. Remember what I said. Get rid of these vocabulary words. Get rid of them. Don't use them. I have a problem and all kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, treat them as opportunities. Opportunities. Think of it from that perspective. And be careful what you say to yourself on a daily basis. Okay? Make up your own list of things you're going to say. You know, let's say you want to write a book. I will complete this book by such a day. I will. You know, you just got to, I just want to end on a story, in fact. I want to end on a story, which I think would make an exceptional point. And this point here has truly been a remarkable point for me. And the point is this. My first book that I wrote, I want to tell you a story of that before we close. And I just want to share that with you. We were, myself and another gentleman, we were running some training courses many years ago. And the training courses that we were running, I think I have the slide here which says 25 years of counseling and running courses for UK prisoners. The other one was 35 years management training experience. And we were running these courses for unemployed people. You will see that it said train thousands of unemployed people. And someone came to me and said, Errol, why don't you guys put what you're teaching in the book? And I thought that's a great idea. So I went to somebody and I said to him, will you write the book? Because I told myself, mindset, that I couldn't do it. And for 5 years, I waited for my partner to do it, but he was very busy. And I became very angry and very upset. And I told myself for 5 years, I couldn't do it. Remember what his thought is. As he thinks, so he becomes. And I told myself for 5 years, I could not do it. And I was sitting in this very same location where I am today. Very upset, very angry with my brother that he hadn't done the book yet. And a thought came to me, if I was to do it, how would I do it? How would I start? And I started to messing around on the keyboard. And I started to type. Well, that one change in my mindset has produced 5 books so far. But for the first 5 years, I told myself I could not do it. I told myself. And what I told myself, I never even tried. You see, if you tell yourself something and you believe what you told yourself, you won't even try because it's a done deal. You've already lost. And the moment accidentally I thought, let's try 5 books has come forth. And if you want a copy of those books tonight, you can actually go to errol.williams.org and purchase a download of those books in a PDF form. And those 5 books has truly been magnificent experience for me in learning. Be careful of how you think. Jenny, Becky, welcome. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you guys all being here tonight. And it's really, truly been an awesome privilege for me tonight. Thank you guys ever so much for coming in. And wish you guys all the very best. I will be back here on Monday night for our Monday night Bible studies. Monday at 9 o'clock. And I want to again say thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been a truly wonderful privilege. All comments that you leave on the website will be addressed. So you can always leave comments there if you want. Or you got my details, my phone number, my email address, website address, whether it be the church website or my personal website. You can find out more about me on those ways. Go ahead and let's stay in touch. Let's stay focused and let's change our mindset. I hope that these tips tonight, at least one of them, was of such great benefit to you that it would really vastly improve your life and those around you. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the webinar. Wherever you are, whether you are at YouTube or Facebook or on the website, crgop.com, or whether or not you are at Periscope or Twitter, we are streaming live to 5 destinations right now, trying to do as much as we can in reaching as much people as we can. And because my whole purpose is about helping people to develop their attitude, skills, and knowledge in whatever field, whatever area of life that they want to master. If I can be of any other assistance to you, don't hesitate to contact me and I will respond to you. Thank you once again. Thank you all for coming and have a wonderful night. Bye for now.